Hey folks, Rich here at RCINFORMER. Once again, got Steve on the camera, and today we have a grass demo of the Arrows Hobby MIG-29. This is coming from Hobby Zone. Just check our links below. If you guys click on a link and get one through our link and put it in your cart and buy one, we do get a little commission. We appreciate that support. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. Leave your comments and ask us stuff. You guys got a request, we'll do a request if you guys want to see something. But as you guys know, I've done a few videos on this airplane. They are in the upper right-hand corner of this screen, the white eye. If you click on that, bring that drop-down menu down. You click on that now, you'll see all the other videos. We did unboxing, assembly, several flight demos of this thing on several different batteries, and lately we did a gear mod, and that was so we could take off with the airplane a little easier, and also on grass, where the grass was freshly cut like 5 days ago, so we have a little bit of length even though it's well groomed. And we flew it the other day and it flew fantastic off the grass, but we lost our audio. So we're going to give you guys a demo here on grass, hopefully, so you guys can see how nice of an airplane this thing is off of the grass. We did make our strut modification to it. Check that video out if you want to know how to get this airplane rotating decently. But essentially all we did in that video was right down here, we took about 5 millimeters off of our strut and shortened our main struts. And we put a spacer under this one to raise it up. You getting that okay, Steve? To raise that up 6 millimeters. And then we took Ryan's mod there and we put about a 1/4 inch, maybe to 3/8 of an inch of a spacer in there to tighten this spring up so the nose doesn't dive. And it limits the travel as well. So you guys can do this, and I designed this specifically, this little mod here, so you guys can do it with a Dremel tool, and that's really all you need, is just a sort of a cutting wheel, and most of us know how to use a Dremel tool. It's pretty simple. The only other mod that I had to do was this corner right here, where I took about, just shave this plastic down. There's no foam, I didn't carve anything. As I'll put the gear up here, Steve, you ready? I'll put the gear up. You can see it kind of touches this corner just a little bit. And one fix for that might be, instead of shaving off 5 millimeters off the gear, shave off 4, shave off 3. That'll bring this wheel forward and it won't strike that. But when I did it, I was trying to go to the very limit of how much I could do and make it still go in the well without really having to modify much of anything. So I'll extend those, and you can see how nicely they go in and out of the well, simply with just using a little Dremel tool to make these shorter, to make this one a little longer, and then a little kind of shave of that plastic there, and this thing rotates beautifully now. So let's go ahead and check our flight controls. Everything looks good. Our linkages are in place. This is getting to be pretty much one of my favorite EDF jets. It's such a good flyer. We'll do a quick flight control check. Let me arm my throttle, and we're using telemetry, guys, in here. We'll talk about battery position when we get on the ground. I was able to fit the telemetry in there with the 3200 pack. We'll look at that when I get it on the ground, I guess. Let's go. You ready, Steve? All right, here we go. Let's do a little flight control check here. Right, left, up, down, left on the rudders, right on the rudders, and let's get some flaps down for takeoff. So let me do a quick run up here, make sure we got power coming out. Good power. All right, Steve, you got the mic on, ready to rock? All right, here we go. We'll taxi it out, and here we go. Grass is taller from the other day, Steve, so we'll see how we do. Let's put the flaps for takeoff there. There we go. Now, a taxi's pretty nice, as you guys can see. I can drive it around fairly well. It taxis and turns real nice, just to give you a little demo of it. All right, you ready, Steve? Here we go. Taking off. Easing back on that stick. We just hit the right bump, and there it goes, guys. It beautifully gets up into the air. The mod that we did, check out that mod video. It works like a charm. This thing is so beautiful. Taking off on cement, taking off on grass, it's just outstanding. I'll bring it by hot here, Steve. You ready? Okay. Whew. Little windy today, folks. So we are battling wind with no stabilization in this thing. All right, gear's coming down, Steve. Flaps are coming in. I'm riding a little power because I've got some wind here. Using a little left rudder. Beauty right down there on the grass. Outstanding. You can see I had full flaps. If you can get in on that, Steve. I'm going to drive it back and we're going to take off again. This really isn't about doing too much maneuvering today, folks. This is about takeoffs and landings with the 3200 Smart Pack in this. The 6L 3230C in there. Pretty nice, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, what's your telemetry saying?
Telemetry, we've used up 966 so far.
Cool. Okay.
So, out of 3200. So, here we go. Taking off. Easing back on that stick. There we go. Lifts right off beautifully. Steve, I think we got it, man.
Yep.
Our mod is kicking some butt here. Let's come by fast this way. Coming by hot. Yeehaw! Break away. I'm going to turn. Drop the gear. Drop full flaps. Powering it back. Getting that nose down. This thing does a nice high alpha. Easing back. There we go. Beautiful.
Pretty.
I think we got this licked, Steve. And you can see the look at the height of the grass compared to the wheels.
Yep.
We're not. I mean, this is not just cut. It was cut Friday, and right now it's, what is it, Tuesday, Steve?
Tuesday. Yep.
So it's some kind of tall grass, but if you limit the travel of that nose gear, raise it up, lower their main gears, it'll handle this kind of stuff without bending. Let's take a look at it. All right, Steve, I'm at 1600 on the pack, so we'll bring it back here. Here we go. Take it off. Easing that stick back. There we go. Now, as the battery dies, guys, you lose some power taking off. So obviously it wasn't as crisp. Had a little longer roll on that one, but that's just because of batteries getting low there. Got to fly it inverted just a little bit, Steve. All right, let's see. Gears coming down, flaps coming down. All right, guys, this is just about takeoffs and landings today. Here we go. Keeping that power in. I'm riding a little harder than normal, guys, because we've got some serious wind. All right, I'm adding some power because I want to land it right in front. There we go. Yeah. All right, Steve, pan up and take a look at that windsock. You guys can see what it's doing here. That windsock's kind of giving us a little bit of a left crosswind. And we are at 2200 on the pack, okay? So I think I'm gonna bring it in with that. We're at 3200, but I don't wanna risk it. We're gonna stick a 4-cell or 4000 pack in here and go with it. We're burning a little bit on takeoff, but the grass is a little tall. But pretty nice, eh, Steve?
Yeah, buddy.
Does beautifully, guys. Check out our mod. You can hit that microphone, Steve. Check out our mod up in the upper right hand corner of the screen, the white circle. Check it out at RCINFORMER. The mod works beautifully. Now, let's zoom in, Steve, on that landing gear. I'll try to get a little closer for you. Let me get my throttle cut there. And let's take a look at how that gear looks. It's not bent at all. It's working nice. The wheels are good. Nose gear looks nice and straight. I don't see any bending in it. Retracts nicely, even with that 5 millimeters right there that I took off the strut. You can see it catches a bit. But again, guys, I went to the limit. So if you do this on yours, you don't want to go to 5, you know, hey, go cut off 4 or cut off 3. You'll still get a good deck angle, and this won't snag. But I'm not worried about the snag. I was just trying to get us right to the very limit of what makes it take off nicely. I think we got it, right, Steve? Looks fantastic. I mean, beautiful jet, flies excellent, even in all this wind with no stabilization. So let's look at the pack. Oh, one more thing. CG, yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit, folks. The CG, I'll get into the light there, Steve. The CG that I found that works with this thing really well is just ahead of this screw. That screw head is about 86 millimeters, okay? So I'm flying it just ahead of that, so we're probably at about 80. That's where I'm flying it at. This thing seems to have a range of about 80 to 110. It's a pretty wide range. But without a flight stabilizer at 80, it's rock solid. You see how nice and smooth this thing is. No stabilization, lots of wind, and it's just awesome. Now let's look at the battery placement on this thing. That's another big deal. I am running in here. Can you get that okay? 3200's 30C Smart Pack, 6-cell pack. I also have my telemetry jammed in here. The reason I can do that is because I have this lighter battery, and I have it, I don't know if you can get this, Steve, I'm about an inch off the front wall. Without my telemetry, this battery is against that front wall, and I get about almost balancing on the screw. So without the telemetry, I really bring this battery all the way up and fly it all the way at the front stop. With the 4000, I come to the back stop, and I can't get the telemetry in there, I think. So, or we may try on the next flight. So let me pull all this stuff out of here. And to recap, the 3200 Smart 30C pack, 6-cell, all the way to the front stop. If you don't have anything else in there for weight, this telemetry module adds a little weight to this thing. So without that, this battery comes all the way forward here. So let's get it out. Let's look at, actually I didn't show you my telemetry down. Well, we talked about it. You guys heard what I said, so we don't really need to look at it. Let's look at it on the meter, and let's see what we got with the meter. We'll pull this out of here, see what we got. Yank this out of here. All right, guys, we need an inventor to come up with something other than a Velcro strap. You know what I mean? Don't we all mess with these things? And again, a little tight in here. That's why, real quick, I'm going to show it one more time. You see my battery floor in there? If you guys look at the build, the assembly guide on this, I show you how to put in this really nice battery floor instead of the Velcro, which when you have Velcro on your battery, you got Velcro on the floor, you're wasting a lot of space in here. So if you put that floor in there the way I did it, you don't have to. You can leave it stock and use your Velcro, but it saves a lot of space, and I can get this battery lower to the ground. So let's see what we have here, Steve. Let's look at this. All right, Steve, here we go again. Me and Steve are going to see if we can read this. I can't see this without my reading glasses because I'm getting old here, but let's look at that. Let's see what we got. What do you got on there? 22%. 22%. What's the per cell? Can you read those? 3.75. Okay, so we're perfect. 22%. We probably could have gone around again, but we would have cut into the battery. Battery's nice and tough. It's not hot. Oh, wait a minute. Did I show one more thing? Oh, we talked about this before. To keep the battery a little, to keep the battery a little bit cooler, I talked about this already, because this battery is just warm. It's not super hot. First time I flew it, I think it was a little hot, but I did put a hole. It's going to be a challenge, Steve. Can you see down in the back? Do you see the hole through there? Awesome. I put a hole right in the back of that battery base, so air can come in through this front hole, go over the battery and through there, because all the wires back here I think are jamming up some of that airflow. And you can see where that hole, I'm going to try to do this, Steve, it's going to be tough. Can you see that hole in there? It's right ahead of the wheel well. You know what I'll do? I'll stick an overlay here so people can see it, you know. But it's right ahead of the landing gear. It just goes right through about a half inch of foam, guys. That is it. You can cut that out with just a hobby knife and get through there. So anyway, just an awesome bird, folks. This is getting to be one of me and Steve's pretty much favorite EDF jet. I love this thing. I'm going to have this at Joe Knoll in the fall coming up, but Joe Knoll next year, probably Seth, and any other jet events I go to. This is coming with me because it is just such a stellar jet. It flies fantastic without any stabilization. You do the gear mods with your Dremel tool and stuff. You can see how nicely it gets up and off of here. It's just fantastic. But be sure, guys, check those videos out, upper right hand corner. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell below the video. We do appreciate that. If you guys hit that notification bell, you'll get notified of new videos when they come out. If you guys want to get one of these, once again, if you click on our link below the video and go to the product page, put one in your car and buy it, you're supporting our channel. Me and Steve appreciate that. Steve, you got anything to add? It is very easy to transport. That is a very good comment. I mean, because this thing, it's a nice size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It handles the weather well. It handles the terrain well. And you can just move it around. It's easy to handle. It's not one of these giant things. So anyway, guys, check this out at Hobby Zone. Steve, thanks for filming. Thanks for watching RC Informer, guys. And as always, we'll see you next time.